Hello, my name is Jim Bradfield. Welcome to Ever-Changing Technology. On this show, we discuss the process of innovation in technology that forces the shift in behavior and business systems as we evolve from point A to point B. We break down the fast-moving world of innovation and give you the tools to navigate it confidently. Today's guest is Mark Venables, a seasoned executive with over 35 years of experience in business development and leadership. He's the president of the cryptomerchant.com and other ventures, and he's here to help us understand one of the most misunderstood topics in tech, cryptocurrency. If crypto feels overwhelming or confusing, this conversation is for you. Mark, it's an honor to speak with you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jim. Good afternoon. It's great to be here.
Great. Mark, so why does crypto seem so complicated to everyday people?
I think, generally there's just not enough information out there. You know, I generally like to try and demystify this and humanize it somewhat, because the only information you generally come across talks about Web 3.0 or the blockchain, and it just sounds incredibly confusing. And of course, already has the name digital currency. And there's over the years there's been a fair amount of, I guess, propaganda about cryptocurrency, with it being used for nefarious reasons, and is used in crime a lot, which isn't strictly true. Of course, everything's used in certain crimes, but it's not just reserved for crime. I can assure you. So it can be complex, but like anything, any investment vehicle, if you like, it can be relatively simple as well. I mean, it's just like learning to drive. You start off with the basics and start off with safety. I would say, to try and keep hold of your digital assets.
Okay. So, what's the first step somebody should take if they want to get started?
Um, there's several things you can do. Our website is a good source of information, and it's not terribly complex. I've also written a book called Bit by Bit, which introduces people to crypto, but not in a technical way. And when I say that, it gives you more information about sort of the jargon that's used, some everyday use cases for crypto, so that it brings it into the real world. But other than that, if it depends what you're looking to do. If you're looking to trade crypto or invest in crypto, or just explore crypto, some of the exchanges, like Coinbase and so on, they have very good information as well. So there's quite a lot out there. It's just unearthing the information that suits your style.
Right. So, now can you explain what a crypto wallet is, like in simple terms where everybody can understand it?
Oh, absolutely. So generally, you have two types of crypto wallet. You have a digital um, or hot wallet, which basically means it's online at one of the exchanges like Coinbase or Kraken or FTX, which we saw um, go bankrupt overnight a year or so ago, a couple of years ago. Um, Now, when it comes to cold wallets or hardware wallets, which is what I basically sell, what I deal in mostly, that takes your crypto offline. Um, Technically, it doesn't take your crypto anywhere, but it secures it within the blockchain, and you have keys. You know what they say, not your keys, not your crypto. This allows you to remove the vulnerabilities of being hacked, or anything else that might happen with an exchange, whether it's hacked or whether it gets into financial difficulties or the CEO embezzles the money. You're just not going to be affected by that, and your crypto is going to be safe in a cold wallet because, as it suggests, it's cold, it's offline, and you have self custody essentially of your own crypto, and it's protected by some very long seed phrases. So, I mean, that's the crux, the difference between the two. One's online, one's offline. One's a lot more secure.
So, I'm assuming that, safe choices for beginners is offline, but what would you recommend as a safe choice in the crypto world?
I mean, everyone there's many different cold wallets, and they range from a few bucks up to $500-600. And again, it largely depends on your style or what you wish to do with the wallet. Because some of these wallets you can trade from, and there's some of them are biometric, some of them are air gapped. And if you're comfortable with Bluetooth, then there's several choices there. Or if you would prefer something a little more secure, then wallets are air gapped. And there's just so many things moving forward. It's actually quite difficult to keep up with them. So, I mean, I would recommend starting um, off with any of the wallets on a lower level. And it's not really the wallet that is the thing you need to be careful with because most people lose their crypto due to sort of human error. And because it's very easy to miss a decimal point, and that's been done, and people lose an awful lot of money. So I always say that whichever wallet you choose, just start off transferring a very small amount, $10 or something, until you get used to it and how it works. And there's a lot of how-to videos and that sort of thing on pretty much all of them that are available, whether it's from us or whether it's on YouTube and that sort of thing. So I wouldn't be too concerned with, go with the wallet you like, and you can always trade up or trade down.
Hmm. Well, that's interesting. Okay. That, that's one of the biggest things. The biggest nightmare I think that I've seen is people actually, they think they're going to make millions of dollars and all of a sudden, they lose something. Is that typical what you see or, what's the run like that?
Well, again, to be fair, that can be quite typical. If you were to buy stocks or shares or currency pairs,
Hmm.
you would do your research first. And what I see is people just jump into this sometimes and they buy them what we call meme coins or altcoins, where people have made millions. Generally, by the time the fight, generally by the time you find out about one of these coins that are shooting to the moon, it's too late. So, that's I always say if your barber's telling you what to buy, then it's probably too late. But it's really you're going to research any other investment, and this is exactly the same. If you're going to put any sort of money into crypto, generally, of course, they say don't put in what you can't afford to lose. Um, I mean that's more so with the casino than crypto, and I don't want to liken the two, but you really need to just do the research, and I generally stay with the safe coins, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and this sort of thing, the big boys, because you can hold on to those, and they're going to have their ups and downs. Crypto is obviously very well known for being very volatile, and if you're trading or day trading crypto, then you can lose your shirt because it is so volatile. But I have to say that's calming down. Personally, I think it's going to become less volatile just because it's being adopted so much that with adoption comes regulation, and with regulation comes lower volatility because a lot of the regulations are designed to protect the retail trader, the mum and pops that just want to have a dabble in it and even those that actually make quite a lot of money from it or make a living out of it.
Hmm.
So it again, yeah, it's just doing your research. I mean, you wouldn't jump into anything else
Wow.
at
You can
first
actually
without.
make a big living on this kind of thing.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's never as simple as advertised, so to speak. It does take work, it does take research, and just like trading, day trading stocks and shares, you're looking at the charts and you're trying to see buy signals and sell signals. And I don't think anyone knows where things are really going on a daily basis. So generally, unless you're going to commit time to it, um, it's not the best thing to dive into without um, not just research, but some instruction as well.
Excellent. Yeah. So how can someone, avoid falling for scams when they're starting out? It seems like there's guys really get ripped off.
Yeah, you know, it's. it's back to the old adage: if it's too good to be true, then it probably is.
Mm.
There's some you know big money to be made in things like DeFi, but unless you're already pretty au fait with the crypto ecosystem, to dive into advanced things such as that is just a little foolish, unless you're especially technically minded, and you go through it. But there's the problem today is with AI as well, that the scams are becoming more and more intricate, and with social engineering or phishing attempts, they look so much more realistic because they are created in the image of whatever they're trying to do. And a big one is sending emails to people to say, you need to validate a wallet, plug it in, give us your seed phrase, and anything that asks for that isn't the actual um, domain platform. So, Ledger would be Ledger Live, you wouldn't go somewhere else. And we do see that quite often. So with regards to those sort of things, you've just got to be so very careful, and always revert back to the manufacturer's website. Um, Again, with cold wallets, for instance, there's the diehards always say only ever buy from the manufacturer, which where I don't disagree with that. I mean, that is probably the safest thing to do ultimately. But there's also buying from authorized resellers like myself. They can be checked. Someone says they're an authorized reseller, you can go to whatever manufacturer it is you're looking at buying, and you can check their website. They will have an authorized reseller page, and so you will know that it comes direct from the manufacturer. Um, to me, it's not drop shipped or comes from China or anything like that. Um, and you know that it's not been tampered with. That's the main thing. If it's been opened or tampered with, you really don't know what people can do with these things. And in fact, they're creating entirely fake cold wallets, just like they would, an Apple mouse that people copy. Um, so you could end up buying something that really isn't what it appears to be. Um, Again, when you go to connect this to the platform, it does authenticate it generally. Of all the manufacturers that I've seen, if you're connected to the correct platform, it will tell you that this is legitimate, or this might be a little spurious. So it's just being very careful. There's um, claims where algorithms and AI can make you a fortune. You just set it up and it will trade for you. I mean, I'm sure that will happen, but I just don't see where you can pay $150 and for something that's going to make you millions of dollars. It's just because there would be many more millionaires if that were the case.
Right.
So a lot of the time, it's more luck than judgment. But there's certainly a lot of professional traders that do very well, but it doesn't come after a day or two.
Well, roughly how long does it take you to learn something like this? I'm just kind of curious as to what.
I think it it really depends on your dedication and um, your sort of ability, your technical ability. I've tried it myself, and I'm just not cut out for it. I'm not patient enough. Um, and just trading is if you can be emotionless, which most people can't, because everything's driven by either greed or fear. Um, Now, if you have the unique ability to ignore those and just have a system and stick to it, um, then there's courses that you can learn in a few weeks and be fairly proficient. But it's not always just the knowledge; it is the emotion that goes into it, the fear of losing, or as you're making money and you're on a bull run and you're supposed to take it at a certain point where you don't because you're thinking just a bit more, and then it dives and you lose the money because you weren't um, disciplined enough.
Yeah.
You went with the greed emotions because you thought you could get more. Um, so it's not. And the other thing is, it seems very exciting, but it's really not. You have to be patient, and you're doing the same thing over and over again. And generally you have a system where, you know, your profits are three times what you put in, but your stop is only the same as you put in. So you know you're going to lose 50% of the time, or sometimes more, but you can still make money. It just depends on the system.
Okay.
So, there's many different ways of trading out there, and all of
Well,
them I've
listen,
found that you
I
have to
mean,
be patient.
you've actually made a complicated topic feel a lot more approachable. For people that really want to learn more about the crypto merchant or get started with crypto, where can they find you?
They can go
All the
to the crypto
locations.
merchant.
Remember all of them.
So yeah. So from my of course my British brethren, I have the cryptomerchant.co.uk, and in the US we have the cryptomerchant.com, and it has many of the things we've talked about today. And if anyone wants to get hold of me, they can email support@cryptomerchant.com or .co.uk. And we'll soon be in Canada as well, a crypto merchant store called the cryptoshop.ca. So we're looking forward to that, but that's taken a little longer than we had uh, anticipated. But it will be
Excellent.
there very shortly.
All right. Well, listen, we really appreciate it, man. It's been great talking to you.
Absolutely. Thanks very much.
All right.